I've realized that we've crossed the threshold over into Tuesday, but for our purposes, it's still Power Monday. And that means that we're just getting started. So this is the first day of the week, technically, for the Daily Go-Getimism Show. I'm here, you're here. Let's make something of it while we are here. So tonight on this Power Monday, we are talking about a little bit of politics. To be honest with you, I don't really like doing political shows. It really just causes a whole lot of discourse, a whole lot of craziness, a whole lot of trolling. But you learn from these types of situations. You can't always navigate things to be exactly the way that you want, but you can try. You can try. And that's one thing about politics that you have to respect. The fact that there's always opposition. Things aren't always going to go your way. Things aren't even going to go your opponent's way, not all the way, but you'll both keep trying until you get it right. Whatever getting it right means. Hold on a second. Right now, getting it right means cleaning off this camera. That's what getting it right means. To me, it means getting, cleaning off the camera. I don't know if it was what I would call dirty in the first place, but I have to make sure that it's clean enough for my purposes. So yeah, you learn a lot about people in disagreement. A lot of people don't like disagreement, which is understandable, which is totally understandable. But imagine what the world would be like if everything you thought went the way you thought it should go. With no disagreement, no discourse, no anything. And sometimes with the internet, you would get the impression that that's exactly the way people want it. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. It doesn't really matter. That's just not the way it goes. So even though with politics, it seems like things should be a certain type of way, and there shouldn't be a good explanation about why it doesn't go the way that you think it should go, because the truth seems to be, it should be automatic, right? Lies should be easily identifiable, right? But that's where manipulation of facts come in. That's where perception comes in. So you can have something that's perceived to be the truth. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the truth. So you can look at one thing and it seems like exactly one thing, and somebody else or 100 people or 1,000 people look at it as being something totally different. So what do we have here? And in American politics, that seems to be exactly what we have going on. I don't care what party lines that you fall under or whatever. I'm not the type to act like I don't follow a certain type of ideology. All that playing neutral stuff. I don't see where it's going to get you, because everybody has an opinion. And having an opinion is fine. My question is, what's your stance? Your opinion can be one thing, but what's your stance? Where do you stand on an issue? Where do you stand on an issue? And I don't know about you, but to me, it seems like where you stand on an issue seems to be the issue. Never in life did I think I would see such a gray area between what's supposed to be right and what's supposed to be wrong. Never in life did I think I would see anything like that. So it seems like we're at a point in our lives in this country where the only things that are right are the things that we like. And we're not questioning the things that we like anymore. We've always questioned the things that we didn't like. But I think that it's time that we start questioning the things that we like. Like, well, why do we like that? There are a lot of reasons that we might like certain things that we like. We may have been brought up to like it. Let's start where it gets a little easier. It's easy to like the things that benefit you. Wealth, access, food. Like it can just taste good. If something tastes good, why wouldn't you like it? Right? Well, we know when it comes to food, something can taste really good, but can be very bad for you. It can make you gain a lot of weight. It can make you sick. It can do certain things to you, to your health down the line that you wouldn't like or wouldn't appreciate, or it can be really harmful. But when we get to the point, and not just American politics, but in American life, where we're no longer questioning the things that we like because we have to toe the line along, party lines or cultural lines, racial lines, financial status or class lines and all of that. And we're not questioning that anymore. But it makes me wonder, did we ever really question it, or did we not have anybody to question what we weren't questioning? I'm not sure. I don't care whether you like Trump or you don't Trump. I'm sorry. I don't care whether you like Trump or whether you don't like Trump. I don't see how you can listen to what he says day in and day out and not question why you like that. I think why you don't like it can be pretty obvious. But it seems to me, well, it's been straight up told to me. If you don't like Trump, it's because the media told you not to like him. If somebody told you that the people who you call friends or the people that you call enemies were only your enemies because somebody told you that they were your enemies, you would look at them like they were ridiculous. Because the people probably that you consider to be enemies have done something to you. You've had an experience with them. They've either made you afraid or angry, or they have hurt or made someone afraid that you care about. But they want to tell you that in American politics, the only reason that you don't like Donald Trump is because the media told you not to. The mainstream media told you not to like Donald Trump. Well, how do you explain Fox News? Because they never tell you not to like him. And as far as Republicans go, that's the number one network for them. So they haven't told you not to like him. So are you saying that the only people who watch Fox, the entire network, or the news network are the people who like Trump? That's not even journalism. It's not. It's just not. Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but it's not. When you have a whole network that promotes one candidate or one party, how can you ever expect to learn the truth if their financial interests are directly in line with a particular candidate? How can you ever be sure of what the truth is? Well, that's what we need to talk about tonight. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. That's how we want to get it popping tonight. Why we the real reason why we let Trump keep lying. And it's not this. I can give you the answer up front. Money. If Trump doesn't mean anything to American society, he means money. Now, if you're not aligned with his political movement, his strategy, his agenda, and his status, you're not going to make any money. But if you're corporate, if you make more than $1 million, if you are somehow a friend to him, yeah, he's going to mean money to you. So when, for example, he talks about tax breaks, and it's amazing the level of depravity that we're allowing with this administration. For example, the big beautiful bill. He's saying, look, no tax on tips. What was it? No tax on tips and something. And your 401k is through the roof or in really good standing. Your 401k. I've never seen anybody that was this far out of touch with American society. It's no tax on tips and overtime. That's what it's supposed to be. No tax on tips or overtime. And that hasn't kicked in yet. So they constructed the bill for a lot of that stuff to kick in, the really salacious, damaging stuff to kick in after the midterms. These aren't dummies who create policies like this. They're not dummies. They just are reported to the uninformed. So if you don't understand how things work, you won't be able to navigate it, and you will think that something benefits you when it really doesn't, because you're listening with an untrained ear. So no taxes on tips and overtime. Do you work a job where you get taxes taken out or overtime? What if you work on salary? For example, I work on salary. There is no overtime. There are no tips. Speaking of tips, what about people who don't have taxes taken out on their tips? So you're talking about people in the hospitality industry when you start talking about no tax on tips. People who work in restaurants, people who work in hotels, people who have who receive tips that can be calculated into their salary. They may directly depend on tips for their salary, like a waiter or a waitress, maybe a housekeeper in a hotel. Not necessarily a housekeeper in a hotel, because many hotels do not allow their housekeepers to receive tips. Like, we don't want our guests to feel like you're only doing a good job in order to receive some type of monetary benefit. So when you brag about no tax on tips or overtime, and you really think you're doing something, when what was supposed to be done was make an affordable way of living for them. To be able to work, make a decent living wage, to be able to afford the things that you would need to buy in stores, to be able to afford a car, be able to afford gas to put in your car, to be able to afford to buy a house. I really want to move into a new house. I've been wanting to move. I've been wanting to move for a long time. But when I see the prices of houses nowadays, and I'm thinking like, God damn, just coming up with the down payment is something I could do. But how much am I going to lose just trying to do that? With me, I'm turning 56 years old next month. I remember a time when $100,000 house was like the tops of the pops. $100,000. $100,000 won't even get you up out of the hood these days. As a matter of fact, you're more than likely, pay your way into the hood, the same hood, So, okay, let's go to $200,000. How much can you expect? How much do you expect to pay for a new house now? Maybe fully renovated, new heating and cooling system, depending on where you live. No matter where you live, you're still going to have some semblance of four seasons wherever you live. Like if you live in a state like Florida, warm most of the year around, but you're going to need air conditioning if you live in Florida. To live in Florida without air conditioning, you might as well just, do bad deeds and go to hell, because that's how hot and humid it is. I don't know, So you're going to need I'm saying all that to say you're going to need an HVAC, a maintenance person to maintain. Well, first of all, to set up the air conditioning, and you're going to need to maintain that over years. So we're talking about 300,000, 400,000, $500,000. You could pay $1 million for a house right now, and you don't have the best house on the block. And I'm not talking about living in a really affluent neighborhood where everybody is rich. We're just talking about regular shit now. Jeff Sprayberry, what up, my dude? He says people who valet now, they're working on tips, overtime. Taxes on tips. Like, I don't know. The taxes on tips thing, that just doesn't seem like a hell of a benefit. Now, the overtime sounds good. A lot of people are able to get overtime, but if you work on salary, you don't get no overtime. So you're alienating a large portion of the professional population. I haven't worked a job that paid overtime since 2000 and maybe like 2017. That was the last time. And I haven't worked on many jobs where overtime was an issue. Most of the jobs that I've worked on salary. So I didn't get overtime. It's a good thing for people who do. But when you think about how overtime works, do you want to have to work basically all of your life in order to make decent money? Shouldn't you be able to make decent money within the 8 hours that you work? Now, if you say no to that, I don't know what to tell you. But I don't know about you or anybody else. I don't like to spend my whole life at work to just be able to shop or pay my bills. How people complain all the time about, if you only working to be able to pay your bills, then blah, 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 blah. Well, there's a whole different conversation concerning that, but I get it. I get it. Let me see. Welcome to Philly, LeBron. Yeah, well, he'll live in Jersey. No, that'd be funny because just like New York, Philly, probably Chicago too. None of the really rich, none of the team lives in the city of Philadelphia. That never happens. It might have happened 40, 50 years ago. It doesn't happen anymore. They live in Jersey. All of them. They live in Jersey. Maybe Delaware. They live in gated communities and shit like that. They can afford that. They don't live in Philly. So when something happens to them, maybe like Saquon Barkley talking about his house got robbed. He wasn't in Philly when his house ain't in Philly. What are we talking about? When he was playing for the Giants, he didn't live in New York. Your money takes you to the burbs. I'm like, so you don't have an alarm system at your house that's good enough to protect you from onlookers and assailants? I don't know what to tell you. Even people in the hood got a pretty decent alarm system. I don't know. It's $1 million or more for one bedroom where I live. $1 million or more for one bedroom. Where do you live? Where do you live? I see your name is in Arabic. Let me know where you live. All right. What up, Red Hood? Ranter Man says, speaking of presidents, I was today years old when I found out Reagan was shot over a man crashing out over Jodie Foster. Nasty work. That wasn't necessarily. Don't. Listen, a lot of people, I was alive during that time. A lot of people didn't like Reagan. But you have to question, how do you get that close to Reagan? After what happened to JFK, how could anybody get that close to an American president? That's the question that you have to ask. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? What was his name? John Hinckley? John Hinckley was who shot Reagan, right? He was able to get right up on him. How? And Reagan was really fucked up over that. That's the part they don't tell you. He got shot. They made it sound like he just got grazed and he recovered from that. No. He was affected by that his whole presidency. You know how they talk about how Biden had his there was a big cover up to cover up his inabilities, his mental inabilities when he was president, and how that debate that happened in June of 2024 brought out or exposed how unprepared or ineffective Joe Biden might have been. But you look at what's going on with Trump right now, and somehow the same people that cover Biden every single day about his mental incapabilities don't seem, stop spamming. I got to get you out of here. Stop spamming. I don't allow that. This is definitely a free speech channel. You can say whatever you want to say, but you can't spam and you can't be disrespectful. So blessings. And you said be quiet. Well, look, I'm just going to have to, I'm just going to take you up out of here. I mean, it's not a big deal. You go bye-bye. Blessings. Thank you for stopping. I appreciate that. You did a whole lot. I mean, y'all will do anything to be seen. But yeah. So yeah, the same people who covered Biden day after day after day after day somehow can't see Donald Trump falling asleep in all of these meetings on the world stage, and like domestic and international. Oh, he's not sleeping. He's well, what is he doing? Oh, he's blinking. I've never seen anybody blink for over 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Get their nod on. But somehow His cognitive abilities are not called into question by the same people who covered Biden day after day. Like they're saying with Trump, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Trump used to call Biden Sleepy Joe, didn't he? That wasn't his little name for Joe Biden? Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe. Joe Biden never slept on camera in meetings. There's so much coverage of Donald Trump doing this year and last year. It's ridiculous. The title of this show is called The Real Reason Why We Let Donald Trump Keep Lying. I gave y'all the answer up front. They getting money, baby. So whether you are a network who hates him or whether you are a network who likes him, he keeps people looking. And your numbers are going up, up, up. So you have to question people's motivation when they say that, Trump is this, Trump is that, or we don't like him, or we love him, or he's the greatest. You have to question, like, well, what's your motivation? How much do you stand to gain or lose if he's gone? You know what we should take a look at? I want to know how much these networks were making in the 4 years when he wasn't president. It was quiet in the United States. We had things that we could really worry about, like, prices of, the cost of living, how much, since we blame everything on Biden, housing costs, gas, food, and everything. It was the whole affordability thing. Well, Trump says that the Democrats made up a word called affordability. Like, he said that. He said a word that never existed before, that the Democrats made up. Affordability. Now, in 2024, when he said that he never thought about or heard of the word groceries before, he said that shit on camera. Groceries, like you never think of it like groceries. Who the fuck never thinks of that? Anybody who has a job or who has to go to a supermarket or a grocery store, they think about these words all the time, daily. But he said that and they let him get away with it. Like, you never think of it, groceries. Like, you can tell that he's only talking to multi-billionaires, because even millionaires of seven figures have to go to the grocery store. Everybody doesn't have servants just because they have, millions of dollars. They're degrees of millions. Just like people who make thousands of dollars. You have the people who make 4 figures. You have the people who make 5 figures. You have the people who make 6 figures. Low 6 figures, high 6 figures. But nobody within the 6 figures are rich anymore. There was a time when you didn't have to be a millionaire to be rich. Well off, doing extremely well. Now, if you make $80,000 now and you know somebody who makes $800,000, yeah, to them, they're doing much better than you, but they're not rich. Okay. But yeah, a lot of people didn't like Reagan. A lot of people didn't like Reagan. And the way they sanitized Ronald Reagan's legacy now, like he was just the shit in the 80s. It's just not true. Remember, he was governor of California for 2 terms. He was an actor. And, Reagan was very, very divisive. I don't want to get into Reagan we gonna stay on this Trump, because you stay on Trump, you have more than enough to talk about. See, Jeff says, I'm looking for a good independent, red or blue. Not doing it from you're looking for a good independent, red or blue, not doing it for you. Okay. All right. Well, red was doing it for you a couple of years ago. You know, we got history here. You know what I mean? You were definitely MAGA. I ain't mad at you, but I knew you would see sooner or later. Oh, which brings me back. Yeah, I would love to see how much these networks were making in the 4 years that Donald Trump wasn't president, because I think that will show you why he's president now. I know they weren't getting paid as much. I know that their numbers dipped. Soon as he came back, news cycle every day. Hey, the title of the show is The Real Reason We Let Donald Trump Keep Lying. Hey, if we tell the truth on him, we won't get paid. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. Let's get it popping. Okay. No, I'm not going to stand this whole show. I'm just standing right now. Red Hood says, y'all hear about that Siberian mud crab that killed that young boy in Florida? No, I didn't hear about that. What's up? Sholio, or is that SS Holio? What's good? All right. Luke Skywalker says, they say he be shitting his diaper too. Yo, I mean, yeah, that's what they say. They say, you know, I mean, this is a depends president. He's on depends. They say he smell like piss all the time. They say that's why the flies, you know, he got a thing with flies. But they say that's been going on for years. That is not a new thing. I can't say. Carla! What's good, Carla? Biden was a Satanist. Biden was in the Freemason cult. And I know it wasn't just Biden. Biden was in the Freemason cult. All judges are in the Freemason cult. Most lawyers are in the Freemason cult. All presidents have been in the Freemason cult. Trump not in the Freemason cult? No Illuminati, no Illuminati for Trump? Well, maybe he should, because maybe they could regulate him, get that motherfucker off the chain. Carp Diem, what's good? What's good? Carla says, Bird Nest repeats himself and don't even remember what he says, and or deny it as if nobody else heard it. Yo, video is bad for this dude. But in his mind, he like, that was yesterday though. That shit don't matter. Yeah, I said what I said, but that was yesterday. That was yesterday. We need to talk about today. Only talk about today. Cardean says Trump is the car accident that rubbernecks can't look away from. Yo, that is true as hell, my brother. That's some true shit. Carla says, damn depends, diaper president. Yeah, but all of the founding fathers were Illuminati. Shit, my dad was a damn 33%. I mean, was he Illuminati? He claimed he didn't know what the fuck that was. He was like, maybe there's some other cats. You know what I mean? Like, they get it popping Illuminati style. All right, y'all, let's get into it. The real reason why they let Trump keep lying. You know there are reasons. You know there are reasons. You know, for years I've said a coincidence only happens once. One time is a coincidence. When coincidences keep happening, it's either a pattern or a system. It's not a coincidence. If something is happening every day at a particular time in a particular way, it's not a coincidence. So this insider trading thing that he's doing, when he's manipulating the markets, the stock markets on Sunday nights, Sunday going into Monday, he was doing this shit consistently with the Iran war. So he would say, oh, we're close to reaching a deal. We're going to reach a deal every Sunday night. It would get the markets doing a certain kind of thing. Then, markets open up for certain things. People go in and either sell or buy, and they were making millions and billions of dollars. Thank you, Trump. So when it's funny because when I hear Donald Trump say, when he talks about taxes on tips, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and your 401k, and I'm like, everybody does this man realize that everybody doesn't live that way? Everybody doesn't make taxes. Doesn't make tips. Everybody doesn't work for tips. The majority of Americans don't. Overtime. There's some jobs. Listen, I've been a manager all my life. My job is to eliminate overtime. Not so people can't make money. It's because when you have overtime, it means you're not running your hourly salaries efficiently. You haven't managed to get the job done in a timely manner. It blows the budget up. That's why managers get fired. The same way that when teams don't win, coaches get fired. They're not managing the team right. We know that the players can play. We have scouts. We vetted them. The same way that when you work at a job, they've interviewed people. They've read resumes. They know that the people who are working for them all of them can work. They can do the job. There are degrees of who's better and worse or whatever, but everybody can do the job. So the job of the supervisors, the job of managers is to make sure that those employees are working efficiently. When you have a culture of overtime in business, that means you have mismanagement. And they bring in new supervisors and new management to get rid of overtime. That's the main goal. So what happens when the supervisor is making overtime too? Think about it. If the supervisor, because a lot of supervisors still work on salary. So like this shit ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. When somebody explains it to you plainly and truthfully. But the words that I speak or the truth that I may speak, it ain't the only truth. There's plenty more. Let's see. Cubdean says, MAGA, stick around, son. Doesn't discriminate. Pull up a chair, you might learn something. Just be respectful. They can't do that. I understand the passion that runs through them. We gonna talk about that tonight too. We're gonna talk about why they have to look at Trump as a hero. There was a time I thought it was just all ego, but think about it. That ain't paying your bills. That ego shit ain't paying your bills. When somebody else is fucking up your money, that ain't paying your bills. It's doing the exact opposite. Nicole Ellis, what's good? What's good, man? Thanks for coming through. Cup Team says, stop it. Stop making sense. Carla says, he's doing his best to redirect everybody from those freaking presidential. The Epstein files. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that, too. Because in the beginning of the show, I was talking about how now we're not questioning the things that we like, but we're making excuses for the things that we don't like. Like when I opened up the show, I was talking about how MAGA will tell you, or should I say Trump pundits will tell you that the only reason you don't like Donald Trump is because the media told you not to like Donald Trump. You know how many times I've been told that shit? You don't know how many times that I've seen that written right here in this chat? And I'm like, you can't be fucking serious, right? But they are serious. The only reason you don't like him is because the media told you not to like him. The only reason you think he's bad is because the media said he was bad. Nicole Ellis says, how can I go on live? How can I go live on here? You can call in. You see the phone number, right? 215-518-6149. You can call in. Call in right now. Wait a minute. Somebody has been calling. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Why is my shit not working? Call back, Troy. Troy was... Why? Sometimes my shit is not cohesive. I want to know why. I want to know why. I want to know why. Hold on, Troy. Let me figure out. Hold on. Wait, can you hear me? All right, you good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing picking and choosing. I see that my PC is calling for me to restart it because it has some updates, but not right now. Not right now. We'll get to that. I'll do that after. What's up with you, man? What's good? What's good?
I'm feeling like a real man should. How you feel? How you feeling?
I'm feeling like a real man should not. It's like, no, you know.
I see that you was talking about habitual, so I thought I'd call in.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I was talking about how in the opening minutes of the show, I was talking about how like we're at a point now where we're not questioning the things that we like anymore, and we're not even questioning the things that we don't like. And I've never seen a situation like this where we're acting like certain things that we would never say that we liked before. All of a sudden, we're looking the other way. All of a sudden, rape ain't rape. Sexual assault ain't sexual assault.
Lying ain't lying.
Lying, I mean, forget about lying. You know, forget about lying for a minute. Let's talk about real actions. You know, well, the only reason you don't like Trump is because the media told you not to like him. Like, I get held up on that. Like, what are you fucking, like, that's insulting. Yeah, I mean, that's like saying you're a fucking dummy. Like, where else in life would that work? I could see if you told me, like, yo, the only reason you don't like bears is because people told you that bears don't do nothing but slap people's heads off and eat them. I could understand that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might see some bad videos of a bear, you know, I don't know, mauling somebody and be like, oh yeah, bears are scary. But we're talking about a whole person. Who in your immediate life would you be able to, would that premise be able to work with? Like the friends that you've had. Imagine somebody telling you the only reason that they're your friends is because people told you that they're your friends. Yeah. Or, you know, a bully in school or somebody who has done something to you. You don't like them. And somebody is telling you, well, the only reason you don't like them is because people told you not to like them. Like, what are you talking about? That motherfucker stole my 72 box of crayons.
And my lunch money.
Yeah, I mean, you know what a status symbol having them 72 different colors, color crayons in the Crayola box was.
Crayon sharpener with it.
Yo, that sharpener was ass, wasn't it? That shit was straight ass.
Yes, it was.
But that 72 box that shit was status. Somebody they taking your shit and they in school coloring with your crayons.
Back in the day, not get off the subject. Back in the day, there was no such thing as cheap crayons. It was Crayola or not.
Yeah.
It was Crayola or not. There was no Save-A-Lot. There wasn't no damn Five and Below. It was just high and no go.
Yep. So, you know, yeah, I mean, stabbed you with your own protractor, or was it the compass? The compass. He stabbed you with your own compass. He poked you up with your compass and shit. So, yeah. But I mean, how many times?
Why he stabbed you with your compass? Because people told you he was gonna stab you with his compass.
Ain't that some shit? So, how many times have you watched this chat when we've done political shows and you've seen that shit written in the comments? Only reason you don't like him is because the media told you that he, or told you not to like him, or told you that he was bad. Like what the fuck? You don't hear the information that we're talking about? Did they tell me that too? But you know, I mean, you don't have to look too much farther than this Epstein file situation. Like, huh?
Yeah, let me tell you, I was last week. I meant to bring this up to you. Well, it was last Thursday going into Friday. I meant to talk to you about it. The boy was on stage talking in Georgia, and he said, and we're going to bring you health care at its finest. You know, the big, beautiful bill. And the health care is going to be called the big, beautiful bill. And I start cracking the fuck up. I'm like, what? Y'all feel for this shit? Y'all didn't get health care back in 2016 when he was president, when he said he was going to give you. Y'all still haven't got health care. You know, you talk about the person put up there today years old about Reagan and Jodie Foster. I was today years old when I found out that a felon could not vote for president, but a felon can run for president. I was today years old that a man can come in office and not even be confirmed for a position and can go into office and just pretty much fire everybody from everything, and get these contracts that can get him to become a trillionaire. I was today years old. I was today years old today when I went into Social Security and this lady was going back and forth about funds and money. But yet we got this man at the top of the country robbing us blind and enriching his children. Today years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's unfathomable. I can't even speak on it no more because it does nothing but it aggravates me, it annoys me. It makes me use big words. You know, it's very malicious. You know what I mean? It's undaunting to me. Very, very, very unlikable to me right now. My mouth is agape. I mean, it's just now today. I'm looking at YouTube, and the so-called conservative man, Stephen A. Smith, you know, the HN. See how Trump? He said, well, today he said Trump. He said Trump. He said pretty much he said something derogatory about Trump, and the reason because of this because Trump. They asked Trump about who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. He said, well, me and Michael Jordan are great friends. We played golf. And LeBron James is a racist.
He said he might be a racist.
He might be a racist.
He said, I think he's a racist. He might be a racist.
Listen, son, we can't make this shit up.
You don't have to make it up. He gave it to you. And you know, and that's the light work. That's the light work. You know, there's never been another president who they would ask that question to. Because no other any other president would be like, what the fuck is, huh? Yo, don't come to me with that bullshit. But he's the right president to go and ask some shit like that because he's going to give you some meat. He's going to give you a story.
And that's why he lied. He gets away with lying because with the stories come the news. And with the news come what? What you say earlier? The money.
Okay, so yeah. It's all income based. It's all financially based. In the comments, can you behold wrote, most people are really dumb though and too lazy to do any research. The media is a constant negative. Trump campaign is a constant negative. Trump campaign for a decade plus. People are tribalized by politics, and Trump has terrible PR. Terrible PR. Trump has terrible PR. Like, sir or madam, Christians would have to pray for you. That man controls PR. Fox, you'll never find any negative information from Fox News about Trump. But even they're finding it hard to defend him these days. How do you explain that? How can you explain that? He's getting billionaires to buy up media outlets just to make sure that he gets good PR. Look, Elon Musk bought Twitter just to make sure that there would be, that he could control the narrative when it comes to Trump negativity. And so you could freely write the word nigger and on posts and comments and shit like that.
Yeah.
And hold on. Yeah, because I'm this whole PR thing. He controls PR. If you question any of it, like you can get an interview with Trump, but if you question what he says in the interview, you get no more interviews. You get put out of the White House. You don't get to get on Air Force One. So you ask, Well, why would anybody put up with him, calling, female reporters, low IQ, stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah. Only the females, I mean, like I was saying, a coincidence only happens once. He has a pattern. He has a system. So if you're a female reporter and you question the things that he says, then you get called stupid. You get called bitch. You get called, you know what I mean? He's reckless and ruthless with it. And in any other situation, men would be like, you know what? You treat women like that because they're defenseless against you. You would never talk to a man like that. That's what men would say normally. You don't hear the same men who are supposed to have all of this masculinity because, MAGA and the conservatives, they supposed to be manly men, right? None of them men are saying, yo, man, you can't be treating women like that. What the fuck are you doing? Say that to me. You don't hear none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that. And because if you keep pressing him, remember there was a such thing not that long ago, but you probably haven't heard it in a while. Remember fact checking?
Yeah.
What happened to that, Troy? When was the last time you heard about fact checking?
I haven't heard about fact check. Only time I hear about fact checking is right after the State of the Union address. Other than that, you don't hear about that no more. Matter of fact, MSNBC used to have a fact check segment, a weekly fact check segment on Trump.
They might still have it. The thing is, they used to, whenever he would do speeches, debates, and all of that, you would have fact checking on site. Now, no more. You don't hear that shit no more. You're gonna do your fact checking later on your network. You ain't gonna do it during that speech or during that debate or during that interview. None of that. None of that. He shut all of that fact checking shit down.
And what adds to the story of what you said earlier about the news is making money. Do anybody realize that he never had to pay for campaign funds? He got his own The news gave him so much free press that he never had to and he never had to use money. First campaign, he never had to use money. The campaign after that, he never had to use money. The news gave him so much free press that it wrote his own self. He did it.
Well, the thing is, and he had so many donors, but you have to think about the motivation for donors. Can You Behold says only Trump would be fact checked. Oh yeah. What if I told you only Donald Trump would say shit that needed to be fact checked?
There you go.
What if? And you have to admit, you gotta fact check the shit that he says because he doesn't. The man doesn't read briefings. He doesn't come prepared. He's a freestyle artist. He doesn't read off a teleprompter very well. And, and that's his little claim to fame. Isn't it great to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? Well, where is he? Because you need one, motherfucker. Because your freestyle, you need some writtens. You need writtens. Your freestyles.
Did you see the jokes on Friday night?
Oh shit! Yeah, I know. With the correspondence of. Oh my fucking God, man!
Listen, we done comedy before, bro. When I tell you, I've heard crickets in a small room. I heard small crickets in a medium sized room, but I never heard crickets in a room that big.
Well, it wasn't. To me, it wasn't quiet enough because he did get a couple of laughs, and it shouldn't have been none. He came there to diss them to his face and got away with it. The chick literally got an award for standing up to this bull. and he got to be there. Why is he there?
No, the whole New York Times staff got an award while he was sitting there. And the award was for how they did on the coverage of the Epstein files. And he running down how much, I mean, they was like, well, Trump lied and Trump this and he's sitting there and he's smirking. And then when they all came up on stage, he shook their hand.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong?
I mean, this shit is fucking crazy. This shit, like, he doesn't have time to be president. He too busy being social. Like, he cares about this shit. Like, we got two people in the chat right now. One is talking about that's a biased take. He was talking about when I say that Trump is the only one that needs to be fact checked. Okay, so he says that's a biased take. Biden said the border wasn't open, safe, and effective. Vax. Hunter wasn't making bread in Ukraine and wasn't fact checked. In most cases, Biden wasn't even coherent. He wasn't coherent? Okay, let's say he wasn't coherent. So all of those, like we covered this on this program. So for 4 years, we heard Donald Trump calling Joe Biden Sleepy Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Who's sleep now? Who sleep?
That motherfucker, he needs some no-dos.
So
he does sleep a lot, boy.
So I think it's amazing how you can easily pick out the things that should have been fact checked with Joe Biden. The thing is, a lot of the things that you wrote were fact checked because Fox was on Joe Biden ass every day. I don't know who you talking about. Nobody fact checked him. We're talking about fact checking him in real time. The reason that you have to fact check Donald Trump in real time, because in real time he'll pivot from some bullshit. So let's go on the thing. Let's go with the things that he hasn't been fact checked for in real time, because you're talking about whether he's. I don't think. Let me put it this way. You have to understand the difference between fact checking and disputing. I think what you're talking about is disputing, and he was disputed heavily. Fact checking would have been what they had to do in real time. There was no need to fact check Joe Biden in real time because he wasn't just going to openly say something that could be easily debunked in real time. That's what Donald Trump does. That's the separation. That's the difference. That's the difference. And somebody in the chat said Donald Trump is a 2-time elected president of the United States of America. What part of that don't you guys get? What part of that do you think matters? Yes, he's a 2-time elected president of the United States. That's the problem, not the solution, dummy.
Go ahead and preach it again.
You know
Hallelujah.
I mean? You know,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. That's not the solution. And you sound like Trump. Oh yeah, I won. So okay, you know, when you talk like that, you act like you've won something. So show me where your gas prices are cheaper. Show me where your housing costs are cheaper. Show me where your food is cheaper. Show me where your energy costs have gone down. Show me some area of life that matters where he has improved anything for you. And I'll shut the fuck up. Trump is number one. No, he's 45 and 47. He's not number one.
He does a number 2 in his pants.
Listen, this is not whether you like Trump or not. You know, like at some point you have to make a decision about what he's doing for you. So I'm like, I don't know about you, but when somebody promises me something that I actually need, I'm going to be looking for that to be delivered. And if they come with a whole bunch of excuses about how come it's not being done, but I'm seeing them do this, all this other shit. Yeah, I'm going to question that. So Troy, if I borrow, let's say I tell you, yo, Troy, man, I need $500 from you, dog. You know what I mean? I'm fucked up right now. I'm fucked up, and yo, I need that 500. You know, nah. Let me make this a little bit. Let me make this a little bit sweeter. Troy, I need you to get me a job. You know what I'm saying? Like I have the skills to pay the bills. I just need an opportunity. You know, they got any openings at your job? And you tell me, yeah, I'm gonna plug you in right now. You know what I mean? Like you should be getting a call. You should be getting a call from the talent acquisition representative real soon. You should be getting an email, telling you to come in for an interview or something like that. And then, so a week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, a month goes by, and I never get a call. I never get an interview. I never get anything. But somebody that I know, you got them a job. They start soon. And I'm like, yo, I thought what's going on? I see that Dave or Bob or James or Earl or Frank, they got hired. Like they started the job, on Monday or something like that. I never got a call. I never got a follow up for the interview. Nothing ever happened. Nah. Oh shit. Oh, you know what happened? This happened, that happened, blah, 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 blah. But it's coming. It's coming soon. You should be getting a call soon. 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, 3 months go by. Maybe I have a job, but I was looking for a better job. And you said that you could definitely get me that job. And now I don't have a job. And all I'm getting from you is a bunch of delays and a bunch of excuses. But Dave got hired. Frank got hired. Earl got hired. James got hired. And I ain't even got a call back. And I was the one who asked you first. So there's no way I'm not going to start looking at you sideways like, yo, man, damn. I mean, if you didn't want to get me the job, all you had to do was not get me the job. So all of these people, I mean, you could have just told me that, I don't think this is a good fit. Maybe when you do this, that, and the third or whatever, like you could have kept it. You don't have to, string me along. You know what I mean? Okay. So when you tell me that you're going to eliminate a crisis for me in real time, like prices are going to go down, food prices are going to go down day one. Gas is going to go down day one. I'm ending the war in Ukraine and Russia, day one. What's the other shit that he said he was going to do day one, whatever? But
the only thing he did on day one, son, is fill out paperwork for the January 6th people.
Day one, they got released.
They got released.
Nobody asked for that. He didn't say that he was going to release the J6. As he calls them, the J6 prisoners, patriots on day one. He didn't say that. He knows nobody would have voted for that. Like, you gonna do what? That was perfectly aligned with his agenda, but it wasn't aligned with the agenda that he said. So, like, no other president would have even thought to do no shit like that. But he did. And now y'all making excuses for the excuses that he's given to you. Prices haven't gone down, they've gone up. Like, look at the price of beef. Farmers all fucked up. He talking about the farmers are doing well now. No, they not. You giving them a bailout.
Yeah.
You know what it means when they have to have a bailout? That means they have gotten fucked up. They need to be bailed out.
Those tariffs that you was up here doing, fucked up their money, and he still hasn't gave people back the money he's supposed to pay back for those terrorists, for the terrorist situation.
Hey, speaking of
The old people,
wait a
old
minute.
money people, American people for back pay for them terrorists.
Well, wait a minute. Are the tariffs over? I thought the tariffs were supposed to be done. They were deemed to be illegal. But now he's talking about raising. He just increased the tariffs on Canada again. How does it? Now I'm lost.
Listen, let me just say this, man, and I want to say this to these so-called Trump people. See, what y'all doing is y'all looking at the situation as Democrat, Republican. I said this plenty of times. It's not a Democratic and Republican situation. It's a human situation. It's a moral situation. Y'all condone the ignorance and disrespectfulness of this man. But if your kids act the same way, y'all be ready to whoop their ass. If your kids come home from school lying, you'll be ready to beat their ass. But this man can lie in front of your face on television and you applaud it as if it's okay. You see it. You know he lying. I know. And how can you look your children in the face? How can y'all look each other in the face and condone the stupidity? One thing about $1, how can you allow yourself to live your life and think, well, damn, I got all this money because of this idiot. And you're talking about Biden and Hunter Biden? The way Trump is enriching his kids is asinine. These contracts that Don Jr. is getting from the Pentagon, him and Eric, the fact that he released somebody from prison that has something to do with his cryptocurrency company that's making millions and billions of dollars for Don Jr. and Eric. You can't even sit back and talk shit about Biden. And if Social Security, if you go to Social Security, or if you're getting snaps, or you get any money, if you get money that's fucking up, and you get overpaid, they're ready to lock you up. You know how many PUA people are locked up because they felt as though they was getting over on the country? This man should be locked up. How much? 13.5 billion.
Hold on.
From Saudi Arabia.
Hold on just a second, Troy. For the dude in the chat, can you behold? You don't have to wait until somebody hangs up. You can call in right now.
Roll in.
Yeah. The lines are open. You know what I mean? Whoever wants to call into the show, y'all can call into the show. Just because there's one or two people on the line, you can call in. We have multiples. We good. We good over here.
Dude don't have to hang up.
Yeah. Dude don't have.
Let me let you know something, bro. Mud crab and mud sharks is another version of the N word.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that.
All right. Cool. Yeah. I don't know why they have to get creative. You know what I mean? They online talking about chimping and all that. But no. I only wanted to interrupt you for that call.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing about it, son. And that's the problem with the country right now. It's divided. I was just on YouTube the other day, and they was telling me how his mother snuck into America. She's an immigrant. Mm-hmm. His great great grandfather snuck into this country. He's an immigrant. He didn't come in here doing legal stuff. He opened up brothels.
Mm-hmm.
Brothels. And y'all talking shit about immigrants who come here and work their ass off. And I can go through a bunch of shit. This country has a lot of blood on it. And then you got this idiot. And then the idiot, this boy, what he does is he's on a toilet, an imaginary toilet, and he just shitting on all of us. And we ain't got no toilet paper to wipe this shit off.
This toilet is not imaginary.
No, yeah, well, hey,
it's real. But here's my thing. Here's my thing about this. See, Troy, you're talking about things that his people probably wouldn't know about because you have to kind of not you don't necessarily have to research these things, but you have to be informed. You got to be in the know. You kind of have to be current with it. Those things are going to be easily disputed by people, even though they may not understand what you're talking about because they don't know. Oh, hold on a second. Caller with the last. The fuck happened? Okay. Well, hold on. Let me see if he called back in. Okay. So, when we start talking about people, just everyday people, regular cats who don't hear. They may just watch Fox News or whatever. All right, let me see about this call. Hold on a second. Caller with the last number is 8799. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
How you doing? Is it Son?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me merge the call. Hold on a second, okay?
Sure.
All right.
Let me merge the call. Hold on a second, okay?
You gotta turn your device down.
Me?
Yeah, I or somebody, because I can hear my voice in the background.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you on my phone.
Okay. Okay. We good? Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay, good. Everything sounds good. All right, so what's on your mind tonight? What's good? What you got for me?
Yeah, I just found your channel randomly this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for letting me come through. I'm actually the person that was commenting in the chat. Can you behold?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the presidential politics, and to be candid, I don't vote. I mean, I don't believe in elections based on how they've gone down in the past, and frankly, they don't really interest me. Like, I don't think my one vote has much to do in swaying people one way or another. But I am ultimately really interested in politics, geopolitics, and the politics of this country because I live here.
Okay.
But this past election and and I didn't like Trump his first term. I really wasn't tuned in that much. I started coming around to him or preferring him rather than Biden for a lot of the other people that the Democrats were pushing forward. Because initially in the 2020 election, they were pushing Kamala Harris at one point up until she had a slip up in the debate stage against Tulsi Gabbard. I forgot who else they were pushing. They may have been pushing Buttigieg, but they stuck with Biden. And I never liked Biden even before the 2020 election. He always had a undertone of being somewhat of a racist, just a center, a center to the left politician. I always thought that they put him in along with Obama when Obama ran, to kind of give people the impression oh, we're putting Obama with the guy who's kind of almost a Republican as a Democrat. And not to say that I'm a Democrat, I was kind of up in, undecided back then. But in 2020, I mean, with all that was happening, I started seeing that, damn, a lot of the media coverage, and I hate the mainstream media, not just solely because of this, but because they get away with lying to us at a constant, more and more so nowadays. And I used to love watching news media in relation to politics and whatnot, ever since I was a kid. But leading up to the 2020 election, I thought that a lot of the media coverage, I mean, outside of Fox, but I don't listen to Fox. I mean, most people don't I don't mess with Fox because of it's just the corny network to me. Before this, I always associated them with racism or Republicans. So I just never messed with it like that. And but even then, like they weren't like pro-Trump all the time, like kind of network back then. I mean, and even now, I probably wouldn't chalk them up to being that either. But it seemed like they were like allergic, like leading up to the 2020 election, to cover like Joe Biden in an unfavorable light, in spite of the fact that he wasn't really presenting himself like out in like campaign. In spite of the fact that he would have a problem like stuttering and like just cognition issues that were presentable or presented like even in the limited times he was out there campaigning in 2020. But during his administration, I mean, we all saw what happened. Like, I mean, the border was wide open. The media was telling us that the border wasn't open. That was a conspiracy. Biden falling all over the place, having mental issues, and the media was telling us that those were like cheap fakes and making up like new shit. And at a constant under the Biden administration, which to me was the worst administration I ever lived through, it was a constant media coverage of negative Trump news at all times. And I think, I was already like through with the media at that point, but the American people were kind of getting fed up with that too, like with the fact that the immigrant wave of people that weren't from this country were being poured into the country, into the hood more than anywhere. The fact that they were put like the Biden administration was pushing the vaccine mandates, I mean, which affect minorities the most because minorities are the most hesitant when it comes to vaccines, like as far as suspecting the pharmaceutical industry. And then we had this new product that's being pushed by the media, by the administration at that point. And it's two choices, in spite of the fact that I may not like be enamored by all that Trump does, but I do like the fact that he does present himself to a combative media. Like, I mean, he's in front of a microphone, like answering questions every other day at least. And the stuff that he puts out there, like as far as what he's aiming for, I mean, a lot of times, like with the deportation operation, which I want more deportations to happen, to be candid, that hasn't been able to come through because of how hard it is, like just to get a few people out here, like, and you have lunatics that try to stop those operations from happening. But I didn't sign up for Iran war. I don't like the fact that we are in this Iran war. However, like I do agree with or I don't shed any tears for like the Ayatollah and the leadership of Iran being dismantled and the fact that their nuclear capabilities are no longer. Because I mean, Iran has a policy of being anti-America, and in spite of the fact that I'm not like a pro-America, like flag-wearing dude, but I live here. Like I used to be one of the like people that like would shit on America for having a racist history, but at the end of the day, I mean, I take an attitude of America being mine and not belonging to somebody else, and it kind of changed my perspective in my life personally. Not saying that everybody should adopt what I do, but the choices were between like a really bad anybody who was the Democrats who were pushing forward, which I count Kamala Harris as also being bad because she was saying that she was going to run with the same policies as the Joe Biden administration, or Trump, who I was already familiar with, and his whole thing. One of the main things that a lot of people voted for was shutting down the border. I mean, and the border was wide open at that time, in spite of the fact that we just finished coming out of a supposed COVID crisis where they were telling us we couldn't be around our families, yet they're inviting people that aren't from this country into the country, during this supposed medical crisis that was being reported to us in the mainstream media mostly.
Okay.
Like,
you said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. So let me start here. I think it's interesting that you started off with that you don't vote. That's like taking yourself out of the voting process is like taking yourself out of the homeowner process. Like, when you're a homeowner in your neighborhood, you have power. You may not have the power of a politician, but you definitely have collective power along with the other homeowners. You definitely have more power than renters do. And anybody who owns a home easily recognizes that. You have say so and what businesses that are zoned to move into the neighborhood, and you have a voice. And so that same voice and that same power is in your vote. I understand how easy it probably can be to think that your vote doesn't matter when you take into consideration these millions of votes. But when you have an election as close as the 2024 election was, and you see how the difference was made in the 2020 election. So every vote does count, especially in elections where there's major division, and where the difference can be made in just a few votes. What I think Trump called for about 13 or 14,001 vote, some shit like that. He wanted one over what he needed for the state of Georgia. So you can see how just a few thousand votes would have made a major difference. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second. All right. Caller with the last numbers. Wait a minute. No, they left. All right, so let me get this back on. All right. Okay, so we can see how a few thousand votes. The fuck? Hold on, y'all. God damn it. If they hang up again, I'm just going. Caller with the last numbers 1227. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? Hello? Fuck. Caller. All right, so all right. Sorry about that, Troy. You good? All right, let me see.
Somebody else's voice is
all right, you still okay? Y'all both still here. Hold on. I'm not going to answer that other call because they're playing games. I don't have time for that shit tonight. All right. Can y'all both hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, like I said, every vote is a voice. Every vote, it has power. Trump and the Republicans, well, mainly just Trump, says that he won by a landslide because he's counting the electoral college. Pretty much he swept the all of the battleground states, but he didn't win by a lot of votes in those states. You understand what I mean? So a lot of those votes, a lot of those states were decided by under 100,000 votes. So because so many people felt like I'm voting the couch. That's what you heard in 2024 election. I'm voting the couch. I'm not voting this election. And that's a large part of the reason why Kamala lost. Because she was doing well. And I'm not so sure that there wasn't some other finagling that may have benefited Trump, with Elon. But, that's another story for another day. I just wanted to get that part out of the equation. I want to ask you, what's your race? Are you black, white? What are you?
Even though I was born in this country, but my family, my mother and father were both from Puerto Rico.
Oh, from Puerto Rico. Okay, all right, cool. So, okay, you're of Puerto Rican descent. Okay, cool. All right. So it's interesting. It's interesting that you seem to be concerned about this whole immigration thing. First of all, I just want to say that there were no open borders. That's a Republican talking point. I understand that it may have not been sealed the way that a lot of Republicans would like to have seen it like it is now, but there was no such thing as open borders. There are no benefits to just letting people come into the country. But this country was founded on allowing people from other countries to gain citizenship in the United States. So were a lot of things put in place to make that transition of citizenship easy. So, but the question that I have for people who talk about immigration, because that's pretty much the one thing that Donald Trump has gotten right in this administration this time around. What I don't understand is how it has benefited anyone. So you deported a bunch of people and what? Because the notion that the immigrants, particularly darker skinned immigrants, because he's not talking about any Europeans. He's only talking about Latinos and blacks from other countries. He's not talking about any other immigrants. So to the notion that he would spread like it wasn't shit, that all of the crime was coming from these immigrants, all of the drugs that were coming into the country were being run in by immigrants. I've been associated with drugs in my life. Hold on, I'm going to try this caller. Hold on a second. Caller with the last number is 2809. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? Oh, just bullshitting? Cool.
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, what's up? This is Kunum Camp.
Okay, hold on a second. Sorry about that, Troy. Hold on a second.
No problem.
Hold on. Now I gotta go grab the other guy.
Oh?
Hey, sorry I cut you off. Now.
Yeah, I think it may have dropped in the process of picking up the other call.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. This is a whole lot going on here. Hold on a minute. I don't know what the hell is going on here, Troy. Hold on a second, okay? All right. All right. Let me see. Hold on. If I mess up on this, I'll grab y'all back. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yo, sorry I cut you off before.
Are you good? Yeah, you good, brother.
This whole thing is acting weird. Hold on a second.
Okay, you good?
For some reason, it's cutting off. It's cutting off calls.
No, I can wait. Call me back.
No, you don't have to wait. Hold on a second.
Okay. All right, for sure.
Please leave your message for...
Okay. I don't know. This shit is acting weird as hell. You know what I mean? This shit is getting haywire. This is going haywire. Troy, you okay? Wait. You hear me? All right. Okay. Uh-huh. Wait a minute. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck. You know what? Wait a minute. I'ma just... Something tells me that this is not going to go right until I restart this app. So, restart my PC. So that's what I'm going to do. Yo, this shit is acting so crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the app. I'm going to restart my PC because it doesn't seem to... It's acting like it's not going to go right until I do that. So by me doing that, hold on. Now I should be able to make calls. Hold on a second.
Hello?
Hey, so sorry. Everything was going haywire. I think we got it together now, though.
No, you loud and clear now.
All right, hold on a second. Okay, so I'm going to go where I left off. I was talking about the immigrants. To suggest that, like Donald Trump was always saying, like all of the crime that was coming into this country, all of the rape, all of the murder, all of the drugs that were coming into the country were all done by immigrants. That's about the most irresponsible. I'm just going to say it's the most irresponsible thing that I've ever heard a politician say, because I've been associated with drugs all my life. I've never sold drugs. I never used drugs, but I've been around countless amounts of drug users and drug sellers. And guess what? None of them have ever been from anywhere else except for the United States. I don't care whether they were Puerto Rican. I don't care whether they were black. I don't care whether they were white. All of the drug users and drug addicts that I've known throughout my life, and I'm almost 56 years old. They have all been American, 100%, 100% American-born citizens. And it's still that way to this day. I still know a lot of drug users and a lot of drug addicts. A lot of drug dealers, all American. So, it was said that the housing crisis was because of these immigrants. Okay, so since all of these immigrants have been deported, these are the things I think should have happened. There should be no more violent crime. There should be no more drug crimes. Is that the case? No. There should be the prices of food, gas, and housing should be easy. How are we doing on any of those things? Because immigrants pay taxes. That seems to be a fact that the Trump administration doesn't like to reveal, and they kind of get upset when you bring that up. But they were actually contributing to the economy. And I'm not here to defend or cape for any immigrants. But what I'm not into is spewing out false information. By the premise that they were causing all the problems in this country, then all of our problems should be solved now that they're gone. Now, originally they were saying that they were going to get rid of all of the crime element of the immigrants, but that hasn't been the case, as you can clearly see. They're going after our abuelitas, our TTs, our tios. That's who they're going after. Our working class, our gardeners, our tradesmen. That's who they're going after. The hospitality industry is suffering because so many immigrants, particularly Latinos and Caribbean immigrants, worked in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So all of those things should be taken care of. They should be fixed. And I have to question why they aren't fixed. And when you present a lot of politicians, particularly on the MAGA side, they don't have good answers for these questions. And I understand why. But you said you opposed the war in Iran. I don't want to go on and on. I'm not going to hold the floor. But I do want to say that you don't have to have the media tell you bad things about Trump in order for you to not like him. Anybody who has grown, I don't know how old you are, but like I said, I'll be 56 next month, God willing, inshallah. But I have people who live in New York, and I travel to New York rather frequently. So Donald Trump is somebody who has been a major figure and a very visible figure in New York for decades, which is why New Yorkers don't like him. They know the real him. I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to say the real him. They know the him that he was. They are very familiar with his gaming tactics, with his bait and switch tactics, with his hustler mentality, with his con men type of actions. So are you pro-Trump, or like where you said a little bit about it. Where do you stand in relation to him?
I wouldn't say I'm all the way pro-Trump like that. I'm very opposed to communism. I'm very opposed to the current way in which the liberals operate, which I, for one, was to the left of most liberals. I was very liberal, probably in the late 90s up to. Oh no, even beyond the late '90s. I meant the late 2000s. I mean, like 2008. But in terms of presidential candidates or presidents in general, I think Donald Trump is the illest one of my lifetime.
Okay.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Why I think he's the illest?
Yeah. Why do you think he's the illest?
Well, like at the time in which he came into power, like the first go around, like it was more of messaging of like what he wanted for America long term, which was bringing industries into America. And I'm from New York. Like you travel upstate New York and throughout the Rust Belt, like Pennsylvania, states like Ohio, those what used to be flourishing industrial bases are now like the Rust Belt, like they've rusted away. And those jobs were held by middle class people, you know, like people like one person, like one man could support a whole family, like on a regular salary in one of these jobs. And with the talks of bringing that stuff back, which he was saying constantly in his
first term, I think a lot of his first term was being roadblocked throughout the whole way. In addition to fighting like the fake Russia hoax, you know, these things were like hindrances. This second term, I mean, he came back with that same vigor, but he also had to deal with this, what I could perceive to be an open border. I mean, whether you agree with that or not, I mean, you know, that's your opinion. But I like saw the open border in New York City, like where I'm from. Like we never had like mad Venezuelans like we did under the Joe Biden administration. And these dudes were like not like, you know, like selling rice and beans and shit, like, you know, trying to make a way for themselves. These dudes are like in their 20s with the shit, you know, like grabbing women up. And then a lot of them are still there, like, you know, like we like selling women on the street, like, you know, stuff that's no good. But now he's has to deal with this, with the remnants of the Biden administration, which left us with the large amount of people that came in under his administration. And his messaging, even though he hasn't been effective at supporting enough people, has always been like to not let any more people in and to remove a large population of these people out. Now, I'm not like gun-ho about removing, you know, the standard, you know, regular immigrant that just came into this country. Like, but what I will say is that if you had a choice of telling me, like, you know, do we need more immigrants or less immigrants? I would say we don't need more immigrants, especially in New York and the agricultural base. This is always the argument that's thrown up, like, oh, who's gonna pick the fruit? There's enough people to pick the fruit right now. They don't need like to replace more people like to pick more fruit. And like the price of fruit isn't skyrocketing like in any circumstance. But anyhow, like he's his messaging is basically going after or trying to rectify the issue that the Biden administration left us with. Also, one of the things that he campaigned upon, like, and I mean, like, we haven't ran into a COVID type situation, was the fact that he was against the mandates, which is a big issue with me. I mean, like, a lot of people have forgotten like the COVID era, and especially the mandates that were being pushed under the Biden administration. And Biden was very proud about making the airline industry, as an example, submit 99% to the vaccine by way of his mandate, by way of pressuring these industries. And I'm adamantly opposed to these things. Like, you know, I think that we should have bodily autonomy. I mean, it's something that the liberals will push upon us when it comes to abortion, but when it comes to, you know, not wanting to take a shot under the COVID era, they were suggesting people be put in camps and, you know, but right now, I mean, like, you know, we have a very hyper liberal and hyper, like, which has unfortunately taken over the Democratic Party, and we also have at the opposing end of that, MAGA. Come off to me as like racist, like how most people see it. MAGA, like right now, is basically, making America a dope country to live in. I mean, and I look at even like the.
Hold on, man. I hate
90s.
to cut you off, but come on, man.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead.
Let me speak. Young man, first of all, I'm going to talk about certain things, but Son Touch talked about it. My name's Troy, by the way. When you speak about immigrants, you do know that this whole country is built off of immigrants. The only real illegal immigrants that was forced to come here are black people that were raped and pillaged, that was forced to work, and that were raped and pillaged by slave masters. So when you talk about immigrants, Trump is an immigrant. His wife is here on an Einstein card, whereas though she would have to be a scientist to be in this country. As you can see, she's not a scientist. So that's why she's here on an Einstein pass.
Einstein visa. Yeah.
Einstein visa. You see, her family is here because of Trump, and all of them are immigrants. And when Puerto Rico got hit by the hurricane, did you realize Donald Trump didn't even know Puerto Rico was part of the United States? And he still, at that time, didn't fund y'all with money to rebuild? Or did he make an attempt to rebuild Puerto Rico? Do you realize if you're walking down the street in New York and they see you, if ICE see you, that they would still pull you over because you look like a person of Mexican descent? Yes.
That's never happened.
Huh?
No, I'm saying that's never happened to me. And it's never happened to anybody I know, and all my friends are.
It hasn't happened
minority.
yet. Let's say it. It hasn't happened yet. You see, 18 people has been either shot or murdered because of ICE and immigration. Now, when President Obama was in office, he deported more people than Trump, but he did it with sympathy and empathy and respect. He didn't just do it the way he's doing it. That's why I spoke it upon like that. He's doing it with ignorance. He's doing it with not a lack of compassion. He's breaking up families and snatching people up off the street. And when you're talking about the cases of situations that go here in America, you kill within proximity. Black people kill black people, white people kill white people, Puerto Rican people will kill Puerto Rican, and sometimes it goes to the culture that kills the most people is white America. White America. Mass murders come from white America. The blood on this country comes from white America. So when you sit back and you talk about racism, he is the most divisive racist president we've ever had in a long time, since Woodrow Wilson. And that's saying a lot. And when you sit back about Trump, I can go back to the Central Park 6. I can go back to, and you from New York, do your homework on the Central Park 6.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see if we can get this done now. Hold on. All right. All right, let's see if we can get this done this time. All right, let's see. It looks like we might be able to do it. Hold on.
I hear you.
Yep, I hear him too.
All right. So we all together now. We don't have a lot of time left.
I know. Let me just say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this to my son, right? When you sit back, he's not supporting because he's willing to bring in people from Norway, immigrants from Norway. He's willing to bring in immigrants from South Africa, the South African white farmers. They can come in as they please. but he's not willing to allow Haitians to stay in this country or from dark-skinned Americans or
Exactly, yeah.
He's not willing to let that happen. And the reason why is because at some point in time, they're going to become the majority. You're a part of the where. Puerto Rican and black people are somewhat just alike. We're damn near family. So at the end of the day, when you sit back and you talk about racism, this is the most divisive racist president we ever seen in our lifetime. And when you sit on the phone and you say, none of my friends haven't been caught up in that yet, right now. Not yet. They haven't seen y'all. That's the problem. That's the problem. So keep your ID on you. Keep your social security card on you. To be protected, and I'll be praying for you. Because at the end of the day, this is who he is. We don't want this. When you hear people say, go back to your country, they want you to go back to your country because they don't want us to take over. Puerto Rican, Spanish, Black, we're all one and the same. They don't want that. There's a fear of a black planet, and we all part of that. I yield.
All right. Kunun, thanks for calling in. Sorry about the mix up and all of the confusion before. What's up, man? Let me hear your voice. What's good?
No, what's happening, bro? Yeah, I was just saying what the topic was, man.
Okay. So we talking about the real reason we let Trump keep lying. So basically I was talking about the motivations that a lot of networks and corporate organizations have in allowing Trump to basically run amok and do whatever he's doing. And so we were talking about politics, but we were talking a lot about the social construct that we have going on right now that basically influences people to believe one thing or another thing. So
okay. Well, do you want to know my perspective on that? It's a little different. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
Okay. So if you do your research on what MK Ultra mind control is, all right, don't get turned off when I say that. You feel me? But understand what mind control is, okay? You talk about these corporate, So like you talk about these corporate entities, right? They have the ability to be able to like control us on a frequency level because they have the capital.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy in here, I don't know who he was, but the guy in here talking about some Trump. Listen, brother, I was in that pool with you at one point, but then even before then, I realized that this is some awesome bullshit. I tried to give him another chance, bro, but Trump is not that guy, bro. Like, you know, I thought he was going to be JFK, but he's not JFK, bro. So whoever the guy is that's talking all that, he needs to wake up and realize that Trump is not JFK. JFK was a real white boy.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Irish immigrant.
That was going to expose. Yeah, that was going to expose all this bull crap. You feel me?
Well, see, here's
Trump.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
No,
I'm done. Go ahead.
See, the thing is with Trump, you know, when you talk about mind control, the star power that Trump wields cannot be discounted. You know, like, you know, if you think about it, the influence that people with money have, like people always think that people who have a lot of money are smarter because, you know, I mean, that's the way capitalism is set up. Like the smart people are able to figure out how to gain their status and power through finances.
Well, not only that, let me not cut you off from your point, but not only that, the dollar bill has the pyramid on the back and it says "In God We Trust." But go ahead, brother.
No doubt. But we're talking about the origins of there. origins of that, and people have to go back and research. So I'm gonna give you something that you don't have to research. This man has been a billionaire for most of our lives. If you're under 60 years old, you know, he's been a billionaire, visible. He's always wanted to be in the media. He's the only billionaire I knew who always chased the media. He always wanted. He wanted to be a rock star. He wanted to be around celebrities and things like that. He wanted to be on TV. He was on TV with a hit TV show for years.
Yeah.
Bullshitting, creating an illusion. And he learned how to manipulate the media through the, I implore everybody to go back. As a matter of fact, please, if whoever's within the sound of my voice, go back and listen to or watch on YouTube the interview that he did with Barbara Walters back in the I think it was in the 80s or 90s. And because she tore she tore him a new asshole. She was talking about his finances and his failures with the casinos and all of that. And
not only that, brother. I'm sorry, brother. Hold on, wait. But Tupac also called him out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have called him out, but
Tupac called him out because of the homeless epidemic in New York and also in California. So he has governmental ties in California and New York from how his real estate is set up.
Of course.
And he's not trying to.
Of course, so Jersey. So, yeah. Yep. He's a real estate.
Yeah.
He's a developer, but he's a developer and a brand
and he
specialist.
Can easily find a space for the homeless, but he won't.
Oh yeah, he found a space for him on the streets.
Yeah, right.
He does not care about people who don't have a lot of money, and that's I don't see how that gets lost with people. I really don't. I mean, this man said.
Well, at some point it got lost with me though, because I thought he would be something like JFK. So I woke up like about a year and a half ago. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, but I understand how you could get caught up because he has superstar presence.
Right,
people listen to.
But JFK had that swag too, though.
But not like Trump. No, not even close.
Right.
Trump. Right. Nobody knew JFK before JFK was JFK. People knew.
Right.
People knew who Trump was way before. 40, 50 years before he ever was president. Right. You know, so there's a major difference. But when you see people, you see him on TV, you see him with his own TV show, and it's a money show. He's hiring people, firing people. You know, it was all a game. Yeah. But the reason why I'm telling people to go look at that Barbara Walters interview, because he clearly tells you his whole strategy when it comes to the media. Discrediting the media on purpose. So they will never believe what the media says about him. You will only believe what he says about the media. Now, I'm not trying to protect the media, but we have to get our information from some source, and they are the source. What we need is more discernment, and he's taking away our discernment. When you say...
Absolutely. Absolutely that, because his first term, he was actually on point with the media. But then at some point he stopped that, right?
He wasn't really on point. He easily pointed out some of their flaws. He never highlighted. Right. He never highlighted what they got right. But everything they got right about him.
That side.
Oh, of course. But he knows better than everybody else. I will give him this.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know how to do anything well, he knows how to manipulate people's minds through the media. He does have them totally figured out. He has them in a chokehold. I'll give him that. But he doesn't have them in a chokehold for your benefit or mine. That's the problem.
Hey son, you know what the scariest part about it is this, right? Right now, there's no talk about the Epstein files, right? He changed the narrative with the Venezuelan boat attack. It said they was bringing drugs in the country, and illegally shot down boats over Venezuela and brought the president here and you haven't heard nothing else about it, right? Now, you got the Venezuelan thing. So as soon as somebody starts talking, the media starts talking about the Epstein files again, he starts the Iran war. And every time you turn around, once people start talking about Epstein file again, he adds more to the Iran war. The scariest part is when is it that everything going to stop? And he's going to do something stupid.
Well,
it's going to affect everybody in this country.
As far as I'm concerned, everything he has done is stupid. But the thing is, it's diabolically stupid.
That's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
he has, as long as he has his fingers near the nuclear codes, I don't trust nothing about him. Because in order for him to save his ass, he will hurt a lot of people.
You know what? I'm not worried about him in the nuclear codes because that will be the one thing that people are going to stop him from doing. That's the only thing that would wake anybody else up. But how much damage do we have to sustain just to keep you away from the nuclear codes?
Right.
Because I'm not willing to die for this motherfucker. Now hold on, Troy. The mentioning of this whole vaccine thing. I didn't agree with the mandate, and I got caught up in that. And the job that I was at had to go by state guidelines, and I was forced to. I could say I was forced because I didn't have to. I could have just not worked. That wouldn't have.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked for me. So I was definitely against the mandate, but the mandate was going to come regardless of who was in office, because the country was at a certain point health wise, and something had to be done. We weren't going to come up out of that, even though I do believe that it was a system thing and there was a whole lot of fishy things going on with COVID. Donald Trump was was one of the first to get the vaccine. And he encouraged, people seem to forget that he encouraged everybody to get the vaccine. And then
No, actually he didn't get the vaccine. He didn't get the vaccine.
He got the treatment.
Like hell he didn't.
He did get the vaccine. He absolutely did.
I thought he got some shit called adrenochrome or something like that.
Regeneron or some shit like that. But
Regeneron, yeah.
But he got the vaccine afterwards.
Are you sure?
Absolutely sure. Yeah. I'm 100% sure. Okay. Yeah, he did. Okay. And see
and also by the way, there's a way to detox that vaccine out of your body.
Okay,
so I'm gonna send that to your.
But the point is, Donald Trump does shit himself, and then will tell you not to do it when it benefits him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he will say or do anything in order to get your vote or get your support, so he can shit back on you like it never happened. So it's like
I know one thing, son. You know, we talk about that vaccine, but let's think about what the vaccine he wanted. He said to, put Lysol in your body.
Well,
did anybody follow that?
Yeah, some people did actually follow
it. Some people did follow that.
Yeah.
Some people died from it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So, we sit back, we talk about because I had to take the vaccine for a job too. You know what I mean? I'm cool, I'm living. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I agree with the mandates and all this stuff. I didn't agree with it, but it had to be done. You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately,
at the end of the day, if we had to follow his law, it'd be more people dead. He didn't even listen to medicine or the doctor.
Man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that both of y'all. I'm so sorry that because I don't even know what to say, bro. Like I feel fucking. I don't know, bro.
Listen,
I want y'all to know, like y'all don't know me from a can of paint, bro. But I want y'all to know that, like, God damn, that hurts my fucking heart, bro. I hate this.
Listen, man, there are worse things that could have happened besides that fucking vaccine.
I hate this shit so much. I hate this shit so much. Yeah, I did. One time I did.
How did it work on you?
It just passed.
See,
because the shit was just a flu.
Yeah, some people didn't get. It didn't kill everybody, but it killed enough people. It killed enough people. But I don't want to get get caught up in that.
It had some secondary. If you had like diabetes, then
right.
So like my grandma, right? My grandma has diabetes. She took the shit that Trump took, the adrenochrome, or what did you say it was?
Adrenaline, some shit like it was.
Yeah, whatever the fuck the shit was called. Whatever the fuck shit. You can look it up and Google will correct you.
Yeah.
But she took that shit and she never took a COVID vaccine. So it's like she let that shit pass, but she never got it again. And I got it from her. So you dig?
Yeah.
So I think that there was some lying. I think there was some lying going on in between there.
There was definitely a lot of lying going on with it because now all of a sudden they don't you don't have to get a COVID test to work in hospitals and things like that. You know,
right.
So it became a regular flu now. All right, that's cool. But like I said, I don't want to get caught up in that because we really gotta go. But I do want to say this. A lot of people voted for Trump the second time because they really got caught up in his star quality. He does have a certain type of what do you call it?
Star power?
Charisma. He has a certain charisma. Now, he has an interesting brand of charisma because either you really like Trump or you can't stand his ass. There's no there isn't a whole lot of middle ground. But he attracts people by putting his name on things. Like I said, he's a branding expert. So, you know, Joe Biden actually gave more money in stimulus. He gave Americans more stimulus money than Trump. But Trump put his name on the stimulus. So who did the American public remember? Trump or Biden? You would think logically you would remember who put more money in your pocket, right? Unfortunately, psychology doesn't work that way. You remember the name, which is why he tries to put his name on everything. So fuck what kind of job he's doing. Just name it after me and I'll take care of everything later because my legacy will remain. I'll take everybody else's name off of everything and put my name on it. Psychologically, it will work out in the end. And it's a pretty good plan. So somebody who thinks this way is not interested in governing. That's something that he's not qualified for. He's not qualified to govern. He doesn't understand how governing works, and he doesn't understand politics. But he understands what he wants, and he understands what other people want to see. He understands that. Yo, thanks so much for the super sticker, Kunu. I appreciate you. But we got to get on up out of here, y'all. You know what I mean? I would love to do this more. But
thank you.
Yeah, I thank you. Thank you.
Well, much love to everybody, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's build this knowledge. You feel me?
Yo, thanks.
Good look for letting me on too, son.
Without a doubt.
Had fun the show this evening.
It was my pleasure. It really is. It was my pleasure. Thanks the three of y'all.
I'm just glad we got people up here that's willing to compensate and not get, don't get agitated about what we conversating about. Because some people can get, get annoyed and not be able to be mature enough to have mature conversations.
Well,
for that, I'm grateful.
Honestly, I don't mind discourse. I don't mind disagreement. I don't even mind a little disrespect every now and then. Sometimes, and the reason why is because through your passion, sometimes the light of logic shines through. It may not happen in real time, but in real time is not what is not what you can expect all the time. It's what happens afterwards. Just like we're talking about COVID or the flu or whatever. It's not the initial things that we worry so much about. It's the after effects. How is this going to affect me in the future? So the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that things influence you are the things that are going to affect you in the future. So the things that you allow or disallow are really going to shape the way that you live and the way that the people who are affected by you are going to live going forward. So I don't mind you thinking differently or feeling differently and expressing that. Sure. You can be disrespectful as long as you come through with the information. It's the information. It's the blind, ignorant disrespect that I don't welcome. But
That's the part I'm talking about.
So of course we gonna fight a little bit. We're gonna go at each other, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that things are things affect us in a certain type of way. So we can fight for all of these people, but how much are they fighting for us? What are they doing for us? At the end of the day, when I go to the market tomorrow, how am I going to be able to spend less for the same things that I bought last week? If the answer is no, I'm questioning that. When I had to fill up my truck yesterday, and it was high. You know what I mean? For I think a week or two, we saw gas prices start to drop, and now they're back up again. And for the foreseeable for the foreseeable future, you know what I mean? I'm sick of this shit. I'm gonna be able to buy steak again, some oxtails. You know what I mean? I'm sick of this shit. I had to pay. I was on the phone with the electric company for my mom today. And there was some kind of mix-up. The price per kilowatt is through the fucking roof. This shit is crazy. You can't
even get it. And the thing is, they say get an EV, right? But the EV got down. You feel me?
Yeah, they're gonna get you one way or another.
Yep.
But the motherfuckers, like somebody like Trump, who has never gone in a supermarket and had to compare prices. He's never when he said that the Democrats made up the word affordability, that should have blew everybody out of the water. Like, nigga, what did you say?
Right.
He said a word that never existed before that they made up, affordability. And motherfuckers reacted to that like, yeah, affordability. Like, who the fuck can
that's the same thing as he said alternative facts.
Listen.
Yeah, well, I know you gotta go.
Man, I can't.
The only thing I say is this. Don't if you like them, you like them, but hold them accountable. And that's the only thing I say. Hold them accountable. Don't sit back and say, and also, son, a lot of people voted for him because of that cryptocurrency shit. Because I know a lot of people that support that cryptocurrency.
Man, don't go. You can't go in that rabbit hole. Let's hold him accountable. Hold him in a fucking holding cell. Goddamn, that's where he needs to be held.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Well,
All right, y'all. We gotta get on up out of here. Thanks to y'all. Thanks for calling in, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope to hear from y'all again.
Peace.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. Oh shit! I gotta do the poll question and the birthday shout out. Oh, all right, wait. Damn. All right. Okay. Poll question. The poll question. Yeah.
Stay hydrated. It's getting ready to be a bunch of storms going on out there. Be careful of the tornadoes. Son, much love, bro. We'll talk tomorrow, man. I'll get with you.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. Well, hold on a second. We can do this poll question. The poll question was, when you say that you gotta do what you gotta do, is that more of a situational, or is it just for emergencies? Do you live your life by I gotta do what I gotta do, or do you only implement that thinking when you have trouble? What about you personally?
Mine, I'll pick number 2.
Only for emergencies?
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, God damn it, I think it's situational. I think I live my life pretty much through I gotta do what I gotta do. Luckily, I don't choose to be toxic in it. You know what I mean? But when I say that I live my life that way, is because certain things have to jive with my spirit. So I literally do have to do what I gotta do. All right, but let's see what the public says. With 41 votes, 27% said is more for daily living. All right. 44% said only when necessary, which is understandable. All right. And 15% said, I never say that. I never say I got to do what I got to do. Interesting that you would never say that. I wonder if they live that. All right. And 15% said people say that as an excuse. And I do think so. You know, you will find a lot of people that do a lot of fuck shit that would be like, I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah,
like you killed that man. He was going to tell on me.
I know one thing. You got me ready to play Ralph Tresvant song.
And break her heart.
My shit.
You know what? I can't. I ain't fucking. Yeah, I should have never answered the phone when you called back. I should have never done it. Good looking out, my dude. They good looking out, my brother.
All day, man. Much love, man.
All right, peace. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 27th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Zira Alceus, and also Ontaria Kim Wilson, and Nisha Swain, Dorinda Watson. That's my girl, Dorinda. Known her from way back in the 90s. And Inez Rivers. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, a supporter of the Daily Go-Gettemism show from its inception, my girl, Tanya Respis. Mark it with a T. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 27th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, you can be a lifetime Trumper. You going to get funked less like you was Brian Pumper. Now, if you know the name Brian Pumper, you want some other no nasty shit, yo, humper, another chick, another dick, you had to do some other shit, took another pick. I don't want to be all nasty, but I can't let these concepts get past me. Yo, last we saw, last we did, last we heard, yo, yes, my word. We got to get up out of this muck and mire. Yo, I'm trying to hear something that's fire. It's expired. Yo, give me promises that you will never keep. You creep, just like TLC, but it's going to be bad for you and me. And that's my word, B. Yo, we got to do better than this. I'm trying not to get fried out there like fish. Another list is something that I'm trying to get put on. But that's the thing that's going to make me so on. I'm like the solar thing in the sky. That's why my name is 752 and I'm high. But I don't mean high on drugs or substances. I'm trying to be high on that shit that got substance with the people that I built with and came up with. So I had to drop some off because the niggas was soft. And I ain't saying that I'm hard, but I ain't gonna let no cornball nigga pull my car. I'm getting better at the things that I do. And I hope I get better every time I see you. So as you come through, get a little sip, little do little things, get a little dip. Got honey dip back in the 90s, yo, in the club, yo, niggas find me. And I'll do a little something that's hard. But every night before I go to bed, pray to God and ask him, yo, how come you let me live and took my friends away to me? Yo, I still give to charity when it comes through. I ain't giving to all y'all. What the fuck you think I'm going to do? For the ones that really deserve it, need it, I'm going to give you a little something and I'm going to seed it. Or should I say, concede where I'm wrong. And I'm going to make sure that I'm work all day long. Peace to all my friends, my gut. Peace to all my friends, the girls, the guys, the ones that don't know shit and the ones that's wise. We going to get better as time goes along. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Don't do it wrong. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. in the morning. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do, man. Love is love, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. I really appreciate y'all coming through. And I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Thanks to everybody who called in. Thanks for the knowledge. Thanks for the wisdom. Thanks for the understanding. And thank you for the communication. Hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here, man. Y'all be safe. Peace. My brother Clay. What up, Clay? What's good? Carb diem all day. Carla. Thanks for rocking to the end.